Caveman, Olympics. Yeah, Olympics. Was first developed for the Commodore 64 in 1988 before being ported to MS-DOS a year later. Wikipedia says that the company Painting by Numbers ported the game to the NES as Caveman Games in 1990, but nothing I found anywhere indicates that Painting by Numbers, who changed their name to Impact Software in 1990, had anything to do with the game. Impact Software went on to close for good in 1992. Other sources point to the company Dynamics, who was bought by Sierra and has been defunct since 2001, as having developed the NES port. So who developed the NES port? I have no idea, but lies? On the internet? Nah.
Hello and welcome to the Caveman Games. Let's go down to the mate toss. Grub spinning his mate. Thrower!
Nice bounce, Crudla.
Sounds like it's time for clubbing. There's the finger bait. Yes! Sucker! Now for the dino ball. Eat him! Eat him! No post-game interview there.
Caveman Games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You get bitten, you get eaten.
If you thought the Olympics only dated back to 8th century BC in Greece, well, you'd be right. But there's a good chance that cavemen had time for their own Olympic Games between foraging for food and testing all the berries for poison. In Caveman Games, you practice your skills in any of the 6 events, or you can jump in and do the Olympic Games in sequence. The events include starting a fire, racing another caveman while riding a dinosaur, outrunning a saber-tooth, clubbing another caveman to death, pole vaulting over a T-Rex, and tossing your betrothed a few hundred yards. Most of the events boil down to how fast you can press A, but there are some other tricks involved and the game doesn't really tell you what to do, so for maximum performance, consult the manual. When making fire, you'll square off against another cave dude. Press A ad nauseum to get the meter from green into the red. In the meantime, you can reach over and bop your competitor on the head to slow down its progress. Once you enter the red, you press down on the D-pad a few times to blow into the fire in hopes it will catch. Once it does, you press up and down in line with breaths to get it big. Now we're racing on dinosaurs. Again, tap that A button to get your speed up. Once your speed gets to a certain level, you can press right on the D-pad to whack your dinosaur for turbo mode. You can only do this about 3 times. After that, the dinosaur will get confused and run the wrong way, or just pass out from repeated head injuries. Be nice to your dinosaur and only whack it thrice. You'll have to press B to jump over obstacles, but press it early, there's a little lag. Okay, beat your friend to death. In American Gladiator fashion, you stand atop a fragile rock formation. Who knows how you got there? And your goal is to either club your opponent to death or knock them off the rock. Knocking them off is easy. All you do is continually creep up and press down and A to whack them in the shins. The best part though is before each match there's an intimidation phase. All you do here is press the D-pad all sorts of ways. And this helps when you start the match. If you walk towards your combatant, he'll back away from you out of fear that you're a crazed psychopath with a club. And you are. This event is so easy, even a caveman can do it. Next, another race. This time, you race another caveman and a saber-toothed tiger. As the old saying goes, you don't have to be faster than the tiger, just faster than your friend. When you get close to your race mate, press the D-pad in a direction to toss them backward toward the tiger, while you continuously tap A to run and B to leap over hazards. Your opponent always catches up to you, so you need to be prepared to be tossed backwards. Press the D-pad in anticipation so you don't become the tiger's lunch. First one to climb the tree wins, as we know tigers can't climb trees. You can also get a sure victory by tossing your challenger so far back the tiger devours them instead. Sorry, every caveman for himself. Let's vault over a T-Rex now. This one is maybe the most difficult to master. You can adjust the height of your dinosaur before you vault by pressing up and down on the D-pad, thus moving the bait around and apparently affecting the neck length of the dino. Now you, guess what? Yeah, you tap A repeatedly to start running with your pole. Then hold down B at the point you want to launch from and release it when the pole is at its peak arc. This happens quickly and I only nailed it about 20% of the time, but if you hit it just right, you'll launch clear of the dinosaur. Otherwise you'll end up over the cliff or in the dinosaur's mouth. No bueno. Lastly, let's talk about mate toss. First, you're seen dragging your mate onto the throwing field and she doesn't necessarily seem excited about it, so already this is a crime. Then you hold her by her foot and rotate the D-pad gradually counterclockwise to increase your speed. When you're at max speed, hold A to select the angle, and release to toss your loving cave spouse as far as you can. If you spin too long, you'll turn red in the face and pass out, and you probably deserve it. If you toss her short, she'll land and bounce and be generally displeased. If you get a decent toss, it seems iffy at first, but turns out she's cool with it, and she'll give you a thumbs up. If you launch her to Caveman space, she'll actually get up and do a dance. So see, she's fine. You get to choose one of 6 cavemen for the games. There's Ugga, Gronk, Vincent, Crudla, Thag, and Glunk. Great, strong caveman names. A few of the cavemen are more adept at certain events, so there can be a consequence to your choice, but it's not much. The game is more suited for 2-player mode. In 1-player mode, you just play through the events and either fail or succeed, but in the end, you're the only contestant. No real sense of victory. While you can win against the AI in the events, like starting a fire first or outrunning them on foot or via dinosaur, there are no AI characters in the standings, so that's a bummer. It's fun with 2 players though, and can often be quite comical. I would recommend it only for you and a friend. Well, that does it for Caveman games on the NES. Please, don't toss your mate around, and thanks for watching.